Shalom, first and foremost, all praise and glory is unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, HaRachawadash. That belong to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you elect. Brush your quiet with a really quick video, should be straightforward and to the point. Just want to go over this post off the Instagram, and there's a little news on it, but basically this is the MOTB jumping off the page, okay, and into to real life, all right? Though it's not mandatory, as it says in verse 16 here, which says, Revelation the 13th chapter, it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." So you have to have that. Okay, it's saying it would be mandatory that everybody would have to get it, right? But right now, we're for sure in the 15th verse, which says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast." Okay, and that image is a way of life, a technocracy, if you will. Okay, a way that people would live digitally or biometrically. Okay, because part of the technology is to take an individual's biometric identity and infuse it with technology for a system of control. Okay, and it's speaking at this time. Christianity could have been speaking thousands, embargoes could have been speaking thousands of years ago. All of that is something that doesn't line up with the prophecy. But now the technology of this is what's lining up the times, okay? And cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, because you'll be cut off. Now it says here, Sweden has inserted thousands of microchips into people's hands to replace ID cards, credit cards, wallets, and keys. All right. It says words worth billions. Would you microchip your hand to skip keys and cards? In Sweden, over 4,000 people already have. In this tech-savvy nation, tiny microchips about the size of a grain of rice. We've been saying that for decades. Starting with our apostles on down, even their elders. Right? It says being implanted under the skin to simplify daily life. A quick hand wave lets users unlock doors, enter gyms, access train tickets, or share LinkedIn profiles at events. These CHIPs, okay, mainly from Biohacks International, are passive RFID devices, needing no power source, making them long-lasting and subtle. This body hacking, quote unquote, trend thrives in Sweden's digital cashless culture, where where trust in technology and innovation runs high. Many see it as a handy tool, not a privacy risk. Okay. But experts warn of potential data security and health concerns down the line. That grievous sword, I'll grab that in a second. Still, matter of fact, I'll grab it now. Revelation 16, verse 2, I'll start verse 1, "And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying to the seven angels, Go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth. The first went out and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image." Okay, that grievous sore. All right. Now let me show you this. AI overviewed it, right? Grievous sore, KJV. It says in the King James Version of the Bible, a grievous sore is a painful, loathsome, and malignant lesion that afflicted those who bore the mark of the beast and worshipped its image. So when you take this thing, it's going to leave a lesion, or your body's going to reject it, basically. Okay? And it's going to leave something that's probably going to be painful and itch and all kinds of nasty look to it, and probably pus and whatever else. Okay? And I want it to sound very harsh because this will be a grievous sore. and it's going to let everybody know that you took it. It's not going to be discreet and subtle, as they said in that thing in Sweden, okay, in that article in Instagram, right? It's not going to be that simple where, oh, I took it, and brothers even had dreams. I believe it was brothers that had dreams talking about certain men had taken it, and they were trying to wear gloves, and they were still trying to come around a little bit, but they had them gloves on trying to hide it, okay? But it was like, man, it was just felt off. They felt off, and from what I recall in that dream. But yeah, that grievous sword is not going to be a game. They try to make it seem like it'll be all right, but it won't. Okay, so this plague is part of the series of judgments poured out by the seven angels and serves as a symbol of divine punishment for sin and rebellion. Yeah, when you go to the 14th chapter, it tells that you get that lake of fire treatment. Okay? Poured out without mixture, as it says. Okay? Let's see, it says, the first vial of his bowl into the earth, causing a noisome and grievous sword to appear. Afflicted, these sores are specifically on the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Symbolic meaning. Let's see. The affliction of grievous sores is often interpreted as the physical manifestation of spiritual corruption. Yeah, because they're going to force you to do a physical thing to prove your spiritual corruption. By taking the MOTB into your body, you're accepting another man's mark on you, and not the mark of exemption, the Thawa, with the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai on you. Okay? And a direct sign of the Most High's judgment for those who reject him and follow the Antichrist, which is not an individual as much as it is a system of people. Okay, a way that people think that's anti-anointed. Okay, anti-Yahushai, anti-faith, anti-belief. Okay, what's the word I want to use? Patience. Okay, what's the other one? Perseverance. Okay, that's the other plague. But that was that point. All right. It reads on, still for early adopters, ditching keys and cards for a hand swipe is too convenient to pass up. What do you think? What do you think? Would you try it? Nah, no thank you. Simply put, no thank you.
Why is Vietnam the testing ground for the new banking order? Well, recently, Vietnam imposed a requirement for a digital ID, including a biometric scan of everyone in order to have a bank account. And what they did to enforce this is they closed 86 million bank accounts and seized all of the assets in those accounts. So the owners of those accounts have no ability to do banking or access their funds because they chose not to sacrifice their privacy and submit to this biometric surveillance tracking mechanism. Well,
now, as you understand this, it should be obvious that this system isn't just a system of the West, of only the beast. The beast is pushing it all the way around. Okay, this is a system that's being pushed around the world. This is part of the new world order. Okay, that the elites are pushing out so they can control with godlike power.
This is not something that is going to stay in Vietnam. This is a test because if we look at, for example, what's going on with the European Central Bank and digital ID initiative in Europe, as well as the Real ID and the CBDC system FedNow being imposed in the United States, we can see that it is coming to us as well. So what are you going to do about it?
There you go. Okay, this is Z36 and 6. I always like this one because in the first one with Sweden, they try to make it seem like it's okay. Okay, like it's not a big deal. Okay, like it's all right if you take it, it's convenient for now, and some people have concerns, but it's no big deal right now. Isaiah 36 and 6 says, Lo, thou trustest in the staff on this broken reed on Egypt. on this way of bondage, on this way that ancient Egypt, because of it being a stable society, as it seems, you think it's safe to rely on it. Okay, no different than people do today in America. Okay, it says, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So this convenience system of technical tracking, biometric tracking and surveillance, okay, whether it's your bank account, whether it's, whether if you access certain doors, to the gym or to the break room or whatever where it may be, okay, you think you're in good case because it's convenient, your car, your house. And the thing that I don't like is I appreciate being able to have the actual key, that if I have responsibility to hold that key, and I don't need the convenience of it. I'll go in, dig it out. I don't have to wave a hand. I just go in and do it. What if I wave the hand, I get in the door, and then it don't want to lock back? What if that happens and someone else tries to break in after me? I know physically I can turn a lock. Okay, those conveniences, and I always bring it up. Ben Franklin, I believe, said it. Those that give up peace and safety for security and convenience deserve neither. I'm always misquoting it. All right. And so anyway, it says it will go in his hand and pierce it and become a worse situation. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, on all that trust in him. So when you trust in this man and not on the Most High, you're going to get disastrous results, false ways. Okay? Specifically for you Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American and Israelite foreigners. Okay? The Israelite foreigners are Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Hey, you are Israelites as well, especially if this word rests upon your spirit. Okay? If you trust in all these other ways of life instead of the way of life of this truth, hey, you deserve the judgment you get from Revelation 14. I'll read it and close out. Revelation 14, I'll start at verse 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And that's talking about America, symbolically, Babylon the Great. Okay? And it's talking about that, it's talking about that lake of fire is when it's fallen, that destruction from the thermonuclear missiles. Okay, the nukes that destroy America. Okay, it says, verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, Yahushua. Okay, so if you take this as Babylon the Great is being destroyed, you will be destroyed right here along with it. You will not be given salvation and exemption from it. Okay, the elect will, that deny this and have the spirit to deny these things. Okay, that don't take it into their hand and don't worship the image of the beast and don't take the mark. Okay. It says, and the smoke of their torment shall ascend up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receiveth the mark of his name. Okay, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahushua Mashiach. Okay, and so that's just to say we're just that much closer. We're getting closer and closer. And as the guy said, talking about the banks in Vietnam, the first thing you're going to do is make you really need and miss your money, and then they're going to take it and hold it from you till you submit. And if you don't, you're going to be ostracized out of this system. Okay? And when that happens, a lot of people are going to fold and not have the faith. So Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praise and glories unto Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. Until the next one, Shalom.